Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Broken English to Boss English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sophie. We're so happy you're joining us today. Whether you're listening at home, on the bus, or while taking a walk, thank you for spending time with us.
Today's topic is really interesting. We're talking about the history of architecture in New York.
That's right. We'll learn about famous buildings, amazing history, and, of course, improve your English together.
And don't worry. You don't need to be an architect to enjoy today's episode.
Not at all. If you can say the word building, you're already off to a great start.
Although, I still think architecture is one of those words that makes me sound smarter.
It definitely does. Try saying it slowly.
AR. She, tech. Tour. Did I say it correctly?
Perfect. You're improving already.
Wow. This episode is only 1 minute old, and I'm already smarter.
Before we begin, we have a small challenge for everyone watching. Try listening without subtitles for the first few minutes. Don't worry if you don't understand every word.
Just keep listening.
Exactly. Learning English isn't about understanding 100%. It's about improving little by little.
Every conversation helps your brain become more familiar with English.
And remember, making mistakes is completely normal. Even I make mistakes.
Sometimes a lot of mistakes.
Hey, I thought we were friends.
We are. That's why I can tease you.
Fair enough. Okay, Sophie. Let's start with the most important question. What exactly is architecture?
Architecture is the art and science of designing buildings. It isn't only about making a building look beautiful. Architects also think about safety, comfort, strength, and how people will use the space.
So, an architect has to be creative. And smart?
Exactly.
They need both imagination and technical knowledge.
That sounds difficult. I have imagination. I can imagine eating pizza every day.
That's not exactly what I meant.
No? I thought I was showing great creativity.
Maybe when it comes to choosing pizza toppings.
Let's travel back in time. What did New York look like hundreds of years ago? Because when I think about New York, I imagine giant skyscrapers, yellow taxis, and lots of people.
Today, that's true. But long ago, New York looked completely different. There were forests, small rivers, farms, and simple wooden houses. The city was much quieter than it is today.
That's hard to imagine. So there weren't any huge buildings?
Not at all. Most buildings were only 1 or 2 stories tall. People built homes using materials they could easily find nearby. Wood was the most common material.
That makes sense. Trees were everywhere.
Exactly. Wood was affordable and easy to work with. Builders could finish houses much faster than they can today.
I wish building my IKEA bookshelf were that easy. It took me 4 hours.
Did you finish it?
Let's just say, it's now a very expensive piece of modern art. If wooden houses worked well, why did people stop building them?
There were several reasons. One of the biggest reasons was fire. Wood burns very easily. As cities became larger, fires became much more dangerous. One fire could destroy many buildings.
That must have been frightening.
It was.
People realized they needed stronger and safer materials. So builders began using brick and stone. These materials lasted much longer and were much better at resisting fire.
So every problem helped people create a better solution.
Exactly. History often works that way. People learn from problems and improve their ideas.
That's actually a good lesson for learning English too. Every mistake helps us improve.
I couldn't agree more.
When did New York begin growing really fast?
During the 1800s, more and more people arrived in New York from around the world. The population grew quickly. Businesses opened everywhere. Factories needed workers. Companies needed offices. Families needed homes. Schools, hospitals, churches, parks, and stores all became important parts of the growing city.
So New York wasn't just getting bigger. It was becoming one of the world's most important cities.
Exactly.
And that rapid growth created a new challenge. There wasn't enough land for everyone.
I think I know the solution.
Really? What is it?
Build up, not out.
That's exactly what happened. And that's where our story gets even more interesting.
Okay, Sophie. You said New York started building upward instead of outward. But how? Wouldn't really tall buildings fall over?
That's exactly what people wondered many years ago. At first, buildings couldn't be very tall because they were supported by thick stone or brick walls. The taller the building became, the thicker the walls had to be.
So eventually the walls became too heavy?
Exactly.
Then engineers had a brilliant idea. Instead of letting the walls support the building, they created a strong steel frame inside it.
Like a giant skeleton?
That's a perfect way to think about it. The steel frame carried most of the building's weight. This made skyscrapers possible.
Steel was basically saying, "Relax, everyone. I'll hold everything."
That's one way to describe it.
How did people react when they saw the first skyscrapers?
Many people were amazed. Some had never imagined buildings could be so tall. Others were a little nervous. They wondered if the buildings were truly safe.
I probably would have asked, "Are you sure this thing isn't going to tip over?"
Many people probably had the same thought. But engineers carefully tested their designs. Over time, people trusted the new technology.
Now we can't imagine New York without skyscrapers.
Exactly.
Today, they're one of the city's most famous symbols.
Let's talk about my favorite building, the Empire State Building. Why is it so famous?
It opened in 1931. At that time, it became the tallest building in the world. People from all over the world came to see it. It represented hope, progress, and human creativity.
Imagine standing at the top. The view must be incredible.
It is. On a clear day, you can see for many miles. Many visitors say it's one of the best views in New York.
I'd spend the first 10 minutes enjoying the view, and the next 30 minutes taking selfies.
That sounds exactly like you.
Wait a minute. If buildings became taller, how did people get to the top? Did they walk?
Imagine climbing 80 floors every morning.
No thank you. I'd quit my job after the first day.
That's why elevators were so important. As elevators became faster and safer, people were happy to work and live in tall buildings. Without elevators, modern skyscrapers wouldn't be very practical.
So elevators are the real heroes.
They're certainly very important.
People always say, "The New York skyline is beautiful." What exactly is a skyline?
A skyline is the outline of a city's buildings that you see from far away. New York skyline is famous because it has many tall buildings close together. During the day, sunlight reflects off the glass. At night, thousands of lights make the city sparkle.
That must look magical.
It really does. Many photographers visit New York just to capture the skyline.
I'd probably fill my phone's memory in one day.
I believe you.
One thing I noticed: not every building looks the same. Some are old. Some look very modern. Why?
Because New York grew over many centuries. Different generations built different kinds of buildings. Some architects loved classic designs. Others wanted something completely new. That's why walking through New York feels like walking through history.
Every street tells a different story.
Exactly.
And that's one reason millions of people visit New York every year. Not only for shopping, not only for food, but also for its incredible architecture.
I never realized buildings could tell so many stories.
Every building represents a different moment in history. When we learn about architecture, we also learn about people, technology, culture, and dreams.
I'm definitely looking at buildings differently now.
And we're not finished yet. There's still so much more to discover. Next, we'll explore famous architectural styles, iconic landmarks, beautiful bridges, and modern green buildings.
I can't wait. Sophie, you mentioned that New York has many architectural styles. Can you tell us about some of them?
Of course. One of the most beautiful styles is Art Deco. It became very popular in the 1920s and 1930s. Art Deco buildings often have straight lines, geometric shapes, decorative details, and elegant designs.
So that's why some buildings look shiny and stylish.
Exactly. The Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building are two famous examples of Art Deco architecture.
I like that style. It feels classic but still modern.
That's one reason so many people still admire it today.
I've seen pictures of the Chrysler Building. The top looks very different. Why?
The top is made of shining stainless steel. It was designed to catch the sunlight and create a unique appearance. Even today, many architects consider it one of the most beautiful skyscrapers ever built.
If buildings could win beauty contests, I think it would have a good chance.
Many people would agree with you.
Here's something I never understood. Why do people visit Grand Central Terminal if they're not taking a train?
Because it's much more than a train station. It's one of New York's greatest architectural landmarks. The main hall has a beautiful ceiling painted with stars. The large windows allow natural light to fill the building. Even people who aren't traveling often stop to admire it.
So it's almost like visiting a museum.
Exactly.
Architecture can turn an ordinary place into something unforgettable.
Earlier you mentioned the Brooklyn Bridge. Why is it so famous?
When it opened in 1883, it was one of the longest suspension bridges in the world. It connected Manhattan and Brooklyn, making travel much easier. It also became a symbol of innovation and determination.
I like bridges. They don't just connect places. They connect people.
That's beautifully said. Sometimes architecture isn't only about buildings. Bridges also tell important stories.
New York keeps changing. Are architects still creating exciting buildings today?
Absolutely. Modern architecture focuses on technology, sustainability, and comfort. Many new buildings use energy-efficient lighting and smart systems. Some have rooftop gardens. Others collect rainwater or use solar panels.
That's amazing. Buildings are becoming smarter too.
Exactly.
Architecture is always evolving. Every generation finds new ways to improve city life.
You know, before today's episode, I thought architecture was only about making buildings look nice.
And what do you think now?
Now I think architecture tells the story of people. It shows how cities grow. It shows how technology changes. And it reminds us that every great building started as someone's idea.
I couldn't have said it better. Every building represents creativity, hard work, and hope for the future.
Okay. Let's see if I was paying attention. Question 1. Why did builders stop using only wood?
Because wood could burn easily, and cities needed stronger, safer materials like brick and stone.
Correct. Question 2. What made skyscrapers possible?
Strong steel frames.
Exactly. Question 3. Can you name 2 famous Art Deco buildings in New York?
The Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building.
3 correct answers. I think our viewers are getting smarter with every episode.
I hope so.
Today's conversation really changed how I see cities. Next time I visit New York, I won't just see buildings. I'll see history. I'll see creativity. And I'll see the dreams of millions of people.
That's the wonderful thing about architecture. It reminds us that every generation leaves something behind for the next generation. Some people write books. Some create music. Others build cities.
Wow! That was a really interesting conversation. Let's review what we learned today.
Great idea. Reviewing helps you remember new English words.
First, New York didn't always have skyscrapers. Hundreds of years ago, most buildings were small wooden houses.
That's right. Wood was easy to find, but it could burn easily. So builders later started using brick and stone.
Then engineers introduced steel frames. Without steel, modern skyscrapers wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
Steel made buildings stronger and much taller.
We also learned about the Empire State Building. It became the tallest building in the world when it opened in 1931.
And don't forget the Chrysler Building, Grand Central Terminal, and the Brooklyn Bridge. Each one tells a different story about New York's history.
My favorite lesson today? Architecture isn't only about buildings. It's about people, history, technology, and dreams.
Beautifully said, Mike. Sometimes architecture isn't only about buildings. Bridges also tell important stories. Now, let's review today's vocabulary together. 1. Architecture. Meaning, the art and science of designing buildings. Example, she studies architecture at university. 2. Architect. Meaning, a person who designs buildings. Example, the architect created a beautiful museum. 3. Skyscraper. Meaning, a very tall building. Example, New York has many famous skyscrapers. 4. Landmark. Meaning, a famous place that many people recognize. Example, the Statue of Liberty is an important landmark. 5. Steel. Meaning, a very strong metal used in construction. Example, modern skyscrapers use steel frames. 6. Brick. Meaning, a hard rectangular block used to build houses. Example, the old house was made of red brick. 7. Stone. Meaning, natural hard rock used for building. Example, the church was built with stone. 8. Frame. Meaning, the strong structure that supports a building. Example, steel frames make buildings stronger. 9. Skyline. Meaning, the outline of a city's buildings seen from far away. Example, New York has one of the world's most famous skylines. 10. Engineer. Meaning, a person who designs or builds machines and structures. Example, the engineer designed the bridge. 11. Construction. Meaning, the process of building something. Example, construction started last year.
12. Design.
Meaning, to plan how something will look or work. Example, she loves to design modern homes. 13. Historic. Meaning, important in history. Example, they visited a historic building. 14. Creative. Meaning, having new and original ideas. Example, architects must be creative. 15. Innovation. Meaning, a new idea or better way of doing something. Example, the bridge was an amazing innovation. 16. Sustainable. Meaning, designed to protect the environment. Example, many modern buildings are sustainable. 17. Rooftop. Meaning, the top of a building. Example, the hotel has a beautiful rooftop garden. Population. Meaning, the number of people living in a place. Example, New York's population grew quickly. 19. Community. Meaning, a group of people living in the same area. Example, the bridge connected two communities. 20. Inspire. Meaning, to encourage someone with ideas or beauty. Example, great buildings inspire people.
Awesome! Now we know the vocabulary. But here's an important question. How do Americans actually use these words in real life?
Great question. Let's imagine we're walking through New York City together. Listen carefully to how these words are used naturally.
Wow! Look at that skyscraper. It's so tall.
I know. It's one of my favorite buildings in New York. The architect did an amazing job.
I can't imagine working on the 80th floor. I'd spend all day looking out the window.
Me too. The view would be incredible.
This building looks really old.
Yes. It's a historic building. It has stood the test of time.
I like how the brick and stone still look beautiful. People really built things to last.
Exactly. That's one reason tourists love visiting New York.
Wait. This is a train station? It feels like a museum.
I know. The architecture is beautiful. Look at the ceiling. Look at those windows. Every detail was carefully designed.
I think I'd forget about my train. I just keep looking around.
You're probably right.
This bridge is amazing.
It really is. Engineers worked very hard to build it.
It's hard to believe people built this more than 100 years ago.
Great engineering can last for generations. That's why this bridge is still one of New York's greatest landmarks.
Wow! The skyline is beautiful.
Pictures are nice, but seeing it in person is unforgettable.
I finally understand why millions of people visit New York every year.
Architecture isn't just about buildings. It's about history, culture, dreams, and people.
And it's also the perfect place to eat pizza afterward.
I knew you were going to say that. Now repeat these natural American sentences after me. I love the New York skyline. That skyscraper is incredible. This building has a fascinating history. The architect did an amazing job. This bridge has stood the test of time. Modern buildings use steel frames. I'd love to visit New York someday.
Here's something interesting. Americans usually don't say, "That architecture is very nice." Instead, they often say, "That's a beautiful building. I love this design. This building is gorgeous. Look at that skyscraper." Those expressions sound much more natural in everyday conversations.
Exactly.
Native speakers often talk about the building, design, or view instead of using the word architecture all the time. So when you practice English, try using these natural expressions. They'll help you sound more confident and more like a native speaker.
Now let's learn some useful American expressions. Stand the test of time. Meaning, to stay good or useful for many years. Example: the Brooklyn Bridge has stood the test of time. Reach new heights. Meaning, to become more successful. Example: the city reached new heights during the 20th century. Built to last. Meaning, made to stay strong for a very long time. Example: these buildings were built to last. Piece by piece. Meaning, little by little. Example: the city grew piece by piece. Look up to. Meaning, to admire someone. Example: many young architects look up to famous designers.
Now let's do pronunciation practice. Now repeat after me.
Ready?
Architecture,
Architect,
skyscraper, landmark, engineer, steel, construction, foundation,
skyline.
innovation.
Now, it's audience turn. Answer these questions in English. Question 1. Which famous building would you like to visit? Why? Question 2. Do you like old buildings or modern buildings? Why? Question 3. What famous building is in your country? Can you describe it?
Remember, don't worry about making mistakes. The goal is to keep speaking.
Let's see how much you remember. Question 1. What material did people first use to build most houses? A. Wood. B. Steel. C. Glass. Correct answer. A. Wood. Question 2. Why did builders begin using steel? A. It was cheaper. B. It helped support taller buildings. C. It was lighter than wood. Correct answer. B. Question 3. Which building became the tallest in the world in 1931? A. The Chrysler Building. B. The Empire State Building. C. The Brooklyn Bridge. Correct answer. B. Question 4. What is a skyline? A. A road. B. The outline of a city's buildings. C. A bridge. Correct answer. B.
Learning English takes time. Don't give up. Every conversation you listen to makes you stronger.
You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep practicing. One conversation every day can completely change your English. If today's episode helped you, please like this video.
Subscribe to Broken English to Boss English for more fun English podcast lessons every week.
And tell us in the comments, which famous building would you love to visit someday?
Thank you so much for listening. Keep learning.
Keep smiling.
And keep speaking English every single day.
Please like this video.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.